If you're using Bricks Builder and your web page loads for a split second, then the content goes blank, I'm going to show you one possible fix for this. For example, I'm going to clear the cache and the content section doesn't load. However, if we go to another page, the content loads for a split second and then disappears. I'm going to tell you the solution that worked for me, and if that doesn't work for you, I'll tell you some other things that might work and how I arrived at this conclusion. So in your WordPress dashboard, go to Bricks in the upper left corner of the screen, go to Settings, go to Custom Code, scroll down, and the issue is with either Custom CSS, header scripts, or body scripts. So what I did was copy each section onto my notepad and obviously label each section as your Custom CSS, header scripts, or body scripts. Then after that, I deleted each section, clicked Save Settings at the bottom of the screen, went back to my web browser. This is a web browser called Sizzy. I cleared the cache and noticed the web page is working again. From there, go back to your website, go back to your WordPress dashboard, and you're still in the custom code section for Bricks. Then start pasting in the code for one area at a time and see if it works. I'm not going to waste your time telling you which piece of code it was that was causing the problem, but I'll show you the piece of code and how I eventually figured out it was that particular snippet causing the issue. But once you load all the correct code back in, go down, click Save, go back to your web browser, refresh the page and clear the cache. And once the bad section of code is removed, your site should work again. Okay, so what was the issue? Well, the issue was this piece of code that I think said it had some JavaScript in it. So how did I figure out the solution? I went on a search engine and typed WordPress content disappears as soon as page loads. The top hit was screen goes blank a split second after loading over on Reddit. And thankfully, some user uploaded a video of this, and this was basically the exact same issue I had. So I scrolled down, and the second hit was got a client that had a similar issue recently. Some plugin was removing the content on the site with JavaScript. Disabled all the plugins, then reactivated them one at a time until the issue came back. So I assume it was something with JavaScript. I'm not super familiar with that. Then scroll down further, and someone said most likely JS CSS is causing the issue. So I was like, oh, wait a second. I bet there's something with JS in the CSS section of my site. So I remembered there was a custom CSS section and header scripts that would load on each page. So I assumed there was something in here causing the issue. And whenever I copy and pasted the entire header script into the site, that caused the site to break. So I just pasted in one section of the header script at a time until it was eventually, or this mess of whatever script this is. And I don't even remember putting this on the site. I assume I was trying to find some alternative to Google Analytics. So I typed in statspro.io, and that site doesn't even show up anymore. But there's some stuff from Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And it looked like the last time they updated their site was maybe 8 months ago, and their site doesn't even work anymore. So I deleted the script and the site worked again. This took like 5 hours to figure out since I'm not really a web developer. But if this doesn't work, I'll tell you some other things that I tried. The first thing I tried was to make a test page on the site with just a section, a container, and a heading. And whenever I went to view it on the front end, it wouldn't show up. So there's obviously something really strange going on. So the next thing I did, I used WPVivid to restore the site from a few days ago whenever I knew it worked. And this also took me like an hour to figure out how to restore a site from WPVivid plugin. If you've got WPVivid to restore your site, I'll walk you through that. So you go to your WPVivid plugin, go to Backup Manager. Now I didn't have these all linked properly from my Google Drive yesterday. I actually had to manually upload this to WPVivid. If you don't have anything in here, but you save this to Google Drive or whatever cloud storage you've got, just go to Upload and upload your files there. Once you've done that, go to All Backups, find the backup that you want, scroll to the right. Under Actions, you'll see a refresh symbol, which is actually restore. So click Restore and follow the on-screen prompts, and that will restore your site. Well, that didn't fix the issue, so something else was obviously going wrong. The next thing I did was go to plugins. I selected all the plugins. Under bulk actions, I went to deactivate and then hit apply. This should not break your site. Your site might load improperly if this fixes it. If your site does come back up, start activating plugins one at a time. But again, this didn't fix my site. So with all the plugins still deactivated, I went to the left side of the screen in the dashboard. I went down to settings, then went to permalinks, and I refreshed my permalinks by clicking save changes. That still didn't fix my issue. I figured my site was really broken at this point, so it didn't really matter what I did to it. I went to day and name, then click save changes. Still didn't fix the site. Well, from there I figured, well, the menu and footer of the site still loads, so maybe I'll go ahead and disable those to see if the content comes back up, because maybe the header and footer are causing the issue. If you want to disable those, that's under bricks, templates. I'm using a plugin called Happy Files to keep this stuff organized. I put it under a header footer folder, but I found the header and footer on my site, went to quick edit and turned these from published to draft and clicked update. When I reloaded the site, it was just completely a white page. I didn't have any cache plugins activated, but I went over to Cloudflare and manually cleared the cache there, thinking maybe that was the issue. I went to my cPanel, manually cleared cache there as well, even though I didn't have any cache plugins installed. And then I think after that was when I went to the bricks, settings, custom code, and copied everything in here to the clipboard and pasted things in one at a time until the site broke again. Okay, so if you're still with me, and hopefully your site's working again, whenever you go to your site now and click on something that you've uploaded previously, when you click on these pages, it's probably going to say, oops, not found, or oops, this page can't be found. Well, that's because your permalinks are messed up now. So to fix this, go back to your WordPress dashboard, click under settings, go back to your permalinks, make sure your permalinks are set to whatever they were before. In my case, it's post name. Then go down to save settings. That'll refresh your permalinks. And from there, your site should work properly. Hopefully this saves you hours of troubleshooting. And I think that's about all I've got. I didn't mention this earlier, but it's super important to make sure you have a backup plugin installed of some sort, because that at least gives you a little peace of mind that, well, if you screw something up, you always have a reference to what used to work in the past. Or if there's some vulnerability that your site gets hacked or attacked, well, you can always reload your stuff. All right, thanks for watching.